Okay, let's call the meeting to order. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, could we have the roll call, please?
Yes. Armando Lopez, absent. Melissa Amici,
Present.
Dr. Marta Villarreal,
Present.
Gail A. Rodriguez,
Present.
David Vasquez,
Here.
Maritza Bautista,
President.
Dr. Colin Campbell. He hasn't taken his oath yet,
Right.
so we're waiting.
And that's all,
We
right?
have a quorum.
That's all that we have, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any citizens' comments today?
No, nobody signed.
Okay. Minutes, we all have a copy of the minutes from the last meeting. Are there any comments or changes or
No.
requests?
I move that we approve. I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded, so minutes stand as read as approved. Okay, staff reports and updates. SAA CC appointments.
I'll leave Angie. Still no update, it's still the same, pending the mayor and District 2 Ricardo Rangel.
Okay, so we're just missing two people,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Do we submit names, or do we need to do something to follow through?
No, I have been working with them. The thing is that, they said that the agenda for this month, they said for sure, the first meeting in September, they're in.
Oh, okay,
So-
so you're doing, you're.
Yeah, I don't
working on
need it,
that.
I mean, I'm constantly.
Okay,
She's on it.
good,
I'm
good,
on
so
it.
September, that's
Yeah.
great, thank you, yeah, thank you.
Great job there. Current art projects.
The utility box art project was on the agenda Monday, at city council. And they were told that we are waiting for the SOP to be done so that we can have some guidelines as to the type of equipment that needs to be used and the safety. They did, touch a little bit on the funding. Councilman Lisa Cigarroa recommended that the funding not be divided like it was in 2019 and used for citywide projects. And Dr. King did ask about the commission, and we were able to let them know that you are meeting quorum and you're ready to go.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
So, as far as, well, the SOP's farther down in the agenda, but the consultant did say that it would be ready by the end of August, so hopefully then we can
Is this up art?
up our
Yeah,
studio,
okay.
yes.
That's who we're waiting for,
Mhm.
okay.
And like I said, we have a draft, but
Right.
it's still considered proprietary and confidential. They don't
Right.
want us to share it. Until, they are gonna send it to the city and the city council also, and then she will share it with the commission.
Okay.
Is that the only, and I know we've already worked with Art Studio and we're familiar with the type of work that they do, but is it open to anyone else as far as call for proposals?
For the SOP,
Mhm.
no, this was an extension of their original contract.
Ah.
They were tasked with providing an SOP, so we're still waiting.
It's just an SOP.
Mhm.
Like, it doesn't mean the artists come from them or anything. It's just the SOP so we can get started.
And it provides the city departments, because they're
Right.
constantly being approached, hey, I'd like to do a mural here, whatever.
Yeah.
That way they have guidelines, and there's an application for the artist to fill out,
Right.
so to let them know what their intention.
Right.
Will we have an opportunity to make any kinds of, or review those SOPs, or, I just have a couple of questions about kind of how those things work. If they submit if they, Up With Art writes the SOPs, and then is there a system in place that makes sure that then whatever proposals are sent out, I mean, are they now not eligible since they developed the standards? Or how does that work moving forward with them and input from other, communities?
Well, this is for an artist that submits a proposal for a project.
The
So
only-
they need to fill out
The
what.
SOP.
So the SOP is only for,
It's a guideline. Let's see, they wanna do a utility box. Okay, these are the types of paints. This is the safety that needs to be considered. Other supplies you might wanna have on hand when you're doing that.
just the electric boxes or
No,
is
it
any
has
public art?
murals, I believe the electric boxes, sculptures. There's different types of artwork that she touches upon.
So is
Right.
it just a procedure, the operating procedure only, and then that also includes artist selection as well?
No, artist selection is covered in the master plan.
Right, so I think it deals with all the types of public art that
Public
they
art
include in
different.
there.
Right.
So any type of call that's made, right, yeah,
Because.
which is good.
Well,
I
yeah,
think.
because they hired a BART to do this and put these things in place, right?
Mhm.
So the city did. So those are the guidelines that we all, and when they gave the presentation here, yeah, that was included. We understood that they were hired by the city, and so they have SOPs for all different things that we would want to do in Laredo. So she's updating the SOP or they're updating it or something, so yeah. But yeah, they were hired by the city, so.
Mhm.
I wanted to ask, will that include the lighting, remember the beautiful lighting?
Yes, that was
art?
something, Up Art Studio did get bids for that, and it's very, very expensive. You're talking about Lafayette?
Yeah.
Yes, that was
But not
not.
necessarily only Lafayette.
She
like
has lighting projects in the SOP
Okay, that's
also.
what,
Yeah.
because I've seen them in San Antonio and they're.
Yeah, the
amazing.
installations, lighting installations,
Yeah.
yes,
Beautiful. They
it's
have
part of
different
the,
lights.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
it's gorgeous.
it was part of their whole
Mhm.
Presentation, I remember
presentation,
they
yeah,
presented.
yeah, yeah. So those are things that we can look forward to in the future.
I did not get an update on the TERS, but I know that some of you are on that, the murals.
Yeah.
Yeah, who went, I didn't even make it to the list.
Melissa
Yeah.
went to the last meeting. We all three had been at one prior to that, and then Melissa was at the last one.
So basically, we did meet,
Mhm.
we met with the artist, we did our first, review, or interview with them, kind of talking about what next steps are. The tours, what we found out after we selected and placed, we also informed the artists where their murals would be. But what we learned after we made these selections is that the property owners have not been contacted.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
So now they've charged this, our subcommittee, which is basically Gail, Maritza, myself, Miriam and her staff, Miriam Castillo with the Economic Development and her staff, with contacting the property owners. And then now we've got to
Yeah.
make sure it's okay that they
Kind of
do
working
this and if they like to work,
backwards.
yeah. And so it's kind of, we're trying to sort those pieces out before really kind of going back to the artist. Obviously, the artists would not be the ones that would go solicit that.
We had thought they were gonna do it, but they.
Yes, if you remember that when we had the mural arts grant,
Uh-huh,
that was part of the package, that they had the letter from the owner
Yeah.
Yeah.
giving permission.
yeah, so we just assumed that kind of got
That had
taken
already
care
got
of,
taken
but
care of.
Yeah.
not-
Oh.
So we were just picking the art and the walls,
Yeah.
which was, yeah, it was fun. So, but what was another thing that happened after that meeting? So yeah, we stayed with, trying to meet, I guess next week, we're supposed to try to get together and meet and talk about how we're gonna go about meeting with the,
Owners.
owners, because the TERS board is very anxious to get the project going. But when we did speak with these artists, several of them have experience doing murals, some don't.
Yeah.
But they were all pretty confident that within 2 to 3 weeks they could knock it out, and that's something that was appealing to the TERS. So we also thought that recommended waiting for the standard operating procedures to come out, so that we could be working and setting that standard and helping that. So we're all looking at probably September, everything being able to be ready to start. I think a lot of it does hinge on that, and then on the SOPs, and then the property owners being notified.
Okay,
So,
that sounds good.
So, are there any other current art projects that we need to discuss?
I had mentioned in the email that maybe we could just establish a timeline for the utility art box, but
And
What if-
that's a good
yeah.
idea, because they do want, city council does want a report.
yeah,
Maybe we can start off with, getting the locations.
right.
Yeah, but
We're just missing those
how do
other
we,
people.
because I know we went around
Yeah.
our,
And-
our whatever district, and we submitted photos, but who's choosing? Is it the council?
So we're supposed to talk to our council member.
Okay.
And make that decision, right?
Okay,
We're recommending 3 to 4, I think.
Right.
But I think the last issue is that we're still missing the 3 appointees.
That we were gonna
Oh,
wait
okay.
until they all.
Right, but I think we just need a timeline.
Yes.
Like, when should we?
And you also discussed maybe having a phase one of
Yes.
the ones, and then when the
Right.
other ones come in, they
Right.
can.
So could I suggest that maybe about, if we're looking at having, provided these new members come in September, the way we're all anticipating, that by our meeting in October, we will have all met and identified the boxes that we want with our council members. I know, Marita, you took you developed a
Yeah.
presentation. We can do that and perhaps present that. I don't know if that would be in the next meeting. Are there 2 meetings a month or just one?
One.
So, I don't know, I don't know where to go from there.
And you know, a good thing would also be to have a copy of a map for each member, so they would know exactly.
We
Yes,
do.
that was provided.
yeah, it was hard to read,
I was
but it was
I know, I
provided.
haven't read
Because
it.
it has like a million words.
Yeah, I mean, but
Yeah.
if we could have just identified,
Right,
for
our
instance,
district.
our district.
I feel like that would be.
Because that, it is very confusing, when you see the whole thing, it took me forever to understand, to try to
Yeah.
read. Especially those that are coming in new and they have to take that to their council member and discuss it, they need to have an idea of where it is. And a good thing is to do what you all did, that you went to your neighborhood and you identified. And I was thinking, maybe when they come in, they can do the same, but have an idea what their area is.
Maybe
Yeah.
provide like 4 or 5 suggestions and let them decide.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. The map that we were using, it's really hard
Yeah.
to read. So maybe if we could get each district to give
Separate.
a separate
Yeah.
little map, and maybe then
I
that map
can
will be.
try, I think my connection at the traffic department's not there
Okay.
anymore, but I'll try to find out.
Because it
That
was
would be
the whole city, and so if I could just look at my district and a little bigger, then I would be super happy.
Maps is
Especially the new ones.
separate.
Yeah, because it was really hard to read. It was the whole city, so yeah, it's kind of a big map.
Are there things that we can be doing, like, I don't know if we develop this part of it, I've never been part of this going through a request for proposal process, but could we maybe in the meantime, while we're waiting for people to come on and the SOPs, start developing the RFP, so that as soon as we get that, we're ready to go and.
RFP or a call for artists.
Or call for artists,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
call for artists.
And I believe there's a section in the master plan for how to do
Right.
it, so yes, we can do that.
Yeah.
So like,
You can
right
start
now,
preparing.
that's what we'll be working parallel while we're waiting for people to come in, so that
Yeah.
we're really ready.
Yeah, and maybe, sorry,
Right,
maybe us that are here can try to have our boxes identified by September.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
we
way
can
when
do
the
that.
new people come, we're like, we're just waiting on you.
Put a little pressure.
Yeah.
Or we'll pick for you.
Right.
Do we know, well, and we won't, the thing is, I think also is gonna be important, is just budget, right? And what
That is one of the things that
Yeah.
I think we're still waiting for some guidance from I had asked city management, but I guess the first time in 2019, they split it evenly.
Yeah,
But that is also on city council, do they wanna leave everything and just take every art project as it comes?
Can we make a recommendation from the
You can talk to
commission?
your
Because-
council, like, Ms. Cigarroa said she does not wanna see it separated, that it's for the
Yeah.
entire city.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
I think we work well together, we're doing these city projects. It's better to have a big pool like that,
Yeah.
and we're supporting each other. I mean, I think it's about, personally, that's my opinion,
Mhm.
but, whatever the commission decides.
This utility box, it's gonna affect all the districts, so
Right.
that's.
Right.
And we had, you came up with a budget when we first started talking about this, right, that you had seen, it was like 4,000 to 7,000 or
Mhm.
something like that we had seen, so. And I know we have, I don't know where my budget sheet is, but I know there's a lot of money
Yes,
in our
yes,
budget that we
mhm.
really need to start using, or they're, but, and I know it's difficult for us, I know that it's very difficult for us to move things, but big projects like this citywide, I think that helps, will help to keep the
Use the
fund
funds,
intact,
yes.
so that we can actually move our city forward with public art. I mean, that's,
Yeah, I think the boxes is one of the easier
Yeah.
To get
Cost-
started.
Yeah.
and more cost effective,
Mhm.
right? I think, and we can cover a ton of ground.
Yeah,
Right.
And we can just, yeah.
you get more bang for your buck.
All
as
over
well.
the city, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody come back with four suggestions by September
Okay.
for your district.
Right.
With specific intersections or wherever they are, because that way I can just update the presentation
Okay.
and then I'll add the new ones.
What do I do with my photos?
Well,
Money's
there you-
not
I think you sent them to me,
I
so I
sent you,
have them.
and I put the addresses, right?
Oh, well,
Yes.
that was the thing I can't
I put
remember.
I put the
I
corners.
think you put, yeah, but then I was confused because you like sent them all in a group and I
Oh,
was like,
okay.
which one goes with? But we can
Yeah.
talk about that.
Okay,
Let me know too,
If I
Lisa,
have
because, yeah, let me
questions.
know how I know, because I know we just do everything.
Yeah. Here you go.
Okay, here, Lindsay, figure it out. No, we'll do better this time, we'll do better this, I'll help you, we'll help more this.
yeah, we were kind of in a hurry to make that
Yes, because we
presentation.
were
Yeah.
trying to get to it.
Yeah. Okay, any other current art projects that we need to discuss?
Hmm.
Well, we were just talking about it, but it was
The fountains.
the fountains.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't know really what's kind of going on. I spoke with, not anything formal, but with Tina Martinez from Community Development, and she was doing a site visit at the center. They're looking at replacing some tile on the roof and windows, and we were talking about the fountains, and I think one of the things that remains to be decided is some people view them as historic. And I think what the city will need to do is identify that district and what is the entire, and I think you touched on this too, David. What period are we going to? What period are we bringing it back to? And then that would kind of determine kind of what we do moving forward. We did talk about how, in addition to one of the fountains being broken and having been broken for over a year now, or 2 years, the other one is really kind of an attractive nuisance, and I think that there is, at least that's a common ground with the city and with the Center for the Arts, when, that we both agree that something there needs to happen. Now, I know there's been talk about possibly fencing in the area, but that's also against historic, so all of those little things, but, I still would like to see this project with, that you all started with together kind of come to fruition. It would be really nice. I just, and it's practically begging for it, since it's a pedestal right there just waiting to be used. So I don't know what we can do to keep moving
Maybe
that.
after the SOP, we'll know what needs to be submitted, because also you need to know the cost
Yeah.
and how long
Yes.
it's gonna take.
Sure,
We can follow the guidelines and that can be submitted.
yeah, that's like a good plan.
Okay, so any other current art projects that we need to discuss?
Well, it wasn't part of the art project, but another thing Maritza brought up was having our commission recommend looking to get an art director, or I don't know what the title is.
Well,
that's
that's
the-
sort
oh,
of the
that
next
makes sense.
program arts program,
Sorry,
public
sorry,
arts
my
program
glasses.
manager. That's the next on our
And I
list.
do have good news, budget has informed me is that it is in the budget.
Right,
And they've approved the budget. I mean, I won't believe it until October 1st that,
right.
but yes, I've already submitted a job description questionnaire, which is what the HR needs to grade the
Yeah, so I'll
position to
just see where it
see.
will come in.
So, it is under the library, and so hopefully it's a done deal.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
wonderful, that's.
Somebody with the expertise.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's good.
So we might have a public arts program manager soon.
I love
Wow,
that, that's so
that's
exciting,
cool.
that's gonna make a big difference, you know? I mean,
Good to know they approved it. I mean, it was in our arts presentation.
Recommendation,
What
yes.
is what's the position title that it is?
Public Art Program Manager, I believe is the title.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so they would oversee or they would have they can answer questions about calls or SOPs and all that.
Right. And then we
And-
also would be encouraged to work with them
Right,
for anything that we would like to see happen.
Or that we would want to recommend, that we would have somebody that will support us.
right, that go to the meetings,
Yeah, that's the
be the
idea.
liaison,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
And
amazing.
take all that
That's
money
really
and get
good
it
news.
put to
That's
good
Good
use.
use, yeah.
Yeah.
We really need to stack our commission by then, we need to be a
Yeah,
good
the
state,
whole-
you
the
know,
whole
so we
committee,
can
yeah.
not scare off any good prospective,
Right.
applicants.
The next item here is standard operating procedures for public art projects. Didn't we kind of already? talk
Yes,
about that?
and like I said, hopefully by the end of August, beginning of September, we'll have them
Okay,
and present it to the city manager.
okay, so those should be like September, October.
Hopefully
Okay.
sooner.
Okay. Any items for discussion or possible action? Any news about what's happening? Maybe we can just talk about what's happening in our districts, art-wise, I don't know.
That could be under communications and announcements.
Oh, okay.
The only item for discussion would be the date of our next meeting, which is September
Okay.
19th.
Okay, September 19th. Okay. And then communications and announcement. Do we have anything we want to talk about? What's
Do you have it in
happening?
art? No.
All of us
Well,
here?
speaking of women in art, Mickey Rodriguez is gonna be exhibiting at the
Oh.
center on September 6th. We have an
September
opening
6th,
reception.
is that coming up
It
that
is,
date?
yes, coming up, and then the artist talk will be Saturday. We're very excited about welcoming her back to Laredo, her hometown, and she does work with textiles, so it should be
Yeah.
really interesting. And I think one of her pieces had been acquired by the African consul, the American consul in Africa, and so that was really kind of a big deal. She's really kind of excited
She's
about. We're
awesome.
So
really
what is her
looking-
name?
Nikki
Mickey
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez?
Oh,
Yeah.
She's
She was
a
an art
teacher.
Oh, yes, at BMT, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I haven't seen her in some time.
She looks exactly the same. She was my
She-
7th grade art
She
teacher.
moved out of
So-
town to Fredericksburg or someplace around
Yeah.
there, in the hill country.
Wow.
Yeah, she and James moved, yeah, long time ago.
So-
Anything else going on with Daphne?
We have our closing reception on September 6th as well
Okay.
for the show that's up right now, Príncipe Azul.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about this, the cultural district? Anything going on? What's
Just,
going on there?
they have
That's
an
a
opening
piece.
with Hector Leal that is a painting. He's a border patrol agent, but he paints animals.
Oh, I saw,
Yeah.
I saw, was he doing
A tribute
portraits?
to his rescue, yeah, to his dog, and I think Laps is gonna
Oh,
have
okay.
a table there too, and that's all that I know. I don't remember who's playing there that night, but I know
Okay.
they do have an opening reception.
Well, I'm happy to announce I do not have a September opening.
Why?
Because schedules got moved and my pending artist, we're still discussing the cost of putting on an exhibition. And so, you know, that's a hefty thing. So
Right.
out of respect, we are discussing. I don't wanna,
We're working on, that first Friday to add to downtown. Right now, we have about 20 vendors.
for where?
We're planning on closing.
The
up
streets?
The streets on Iturbide,
On Caminarte?
Caminarte. So
Okay.
we're adding to that, we wanna add a supplement to, as everybody's walking around,
Okay.
that they're able to go visit.
Are these
vendors.
outdoor vendors?
Outdoors, yeah.
Really hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're hoping that.
Are they gonna have it open by then?
Oh, yeah, it should
It's
be.
closed off.
What is,
Iturbide.
well, part of it's,
Part of it, yeah.
The area we're looking at is not closed out right now.
The area that you're looking at, are you looking in front of Siete Banderas or what?
Yeah, Siete and,
Howdy.
and from the, no, further up. Jardín, the Jardín area is closed right now.
That's what's
Oh, that's
closed.
one that's closed.
So Siete Banderas and then the next block, right?
And the next stop, which
Okay.
is 900 and the 1000.
Yeah, because it's the street that comes from La Posada that they close off at
Mhm.
night for walking, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a stage, looking to try to put, just local artists, any artist that wants to
To
perform.
play music?
Who do
Play
they
music and
contact
perform.
for that?
You can call me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're working on it right now.
Do you already have musicians lined up, or
We
can we
don't.
send people your way?
You can send them my way.
What?
We were just really gonna get the club DJs to just play music, but to me, I'd much rather have like
Live music.
live music, even ballet folklorico, like, I mean, really
But are
open it
you
up.
already organizing this? Is this something you're organizing or you're?
Yeah, we're working
you're-
on it.
What do you-
We're actively,
Okay.
just first Friday.
Just first coming up,
Yeah, first Friday.
Is it gonna be
coming up.
every first Friday?
That's the plan. we'd like it to grow.
What about our van? I
I know, let's go back
What
to
about
that.
our bus? What about our trolley?
Um,
We really
Yeah.
need something to,
I mean,
To a try.
so the trolley and the biggest challenge, or the biggest, not challenge, but just the uphill walk
Battle.
with that is that you've got, if you do a vehicle, you've gotta have the insurance, and then you have to have somebody that's gonna man the vehicle, and just all the
Right.
fun, expensive things that come with having something like that. But I think if we're able to sort of create this
art van or art trolley.
something, right, we can, I mean, I think we can get there, we just need to have something to attract some more attention to the area. You know, we were just talking about the bars, right, right now, there's like 3 bars that are trying to sell right there on Iturbide, because they're not making it.
Well, yeah.
Cold Brew just closed, or they're gonna close this
Yeah.
weekend.
They're closing.
Yeah, it's tough
Well,
right now.
it's like, there's nothing on the first block where Siete Banderas is yet, except Cold Brew and what's House of Whiskey. Bar Internacional already closed, and then On the Rocks moved. There's, that bar in the corner is doing well.
1971 or 1972
That one
is
seems to be doing
closed.
well. Oh, it closed.
It's closed.
Okay, that was where On the Rocks used to be?
On the rocks.
Okay. And then like that block,
Yes.
like none of those places are where you wanna be. I mean, I don't mean to be
Well-
Yeah, no,
rude.
but it's true.
I don't mean to be rude.
No,
but
no, they're,
The heart of what's happening in the Caminante area, it's kind of stuck right where we are right now. And the 2 blocks you're talking about.
yeah. And that's,
And I mean, On the Rocks even, they get people. Okay, so we can include them, because that's still right by the
oh,
center.
Eddie's in those conversations with us,
Yeah,
so.
because we're all kind of in this together right there.
Mhm. We're really just trying to, this isn't like, it's like a passion project more than anything, because there's no money to be made, it's more
We know.
a lot of elbow grease,
Ain't
right?
that our
And
story?
so there's, the hope is, I got LNF to lend us the stage, they're not charging us anything, right?
Uh-huh.
And so we're just hoping that we can,
It might not be the month to do it, it's really hot.
I know, but we have to,
Okay.
we just have
You
to
need to
try.
get it going. You
If
need
you
to-
have-
Because I don't feel like downtown can sustain any more time. Like where everybody was like, oh, the Terrace is gonna come in, it's gonna change everything. Terrace is 2 years away from being
What?
completely
The
affected.
what?
The
The
Terrace.
taxing.
Oh,
The
yeah.
tax, yeah, the
Yeah,
construction.
We're on that
and
committee, okay, yeah.
yeah, it's just a ton of stuff that's like a lot, but too late. Because this should have been done
Well, yeah, and we're all witnesses to that.
right.
We
And
know.
so I think now that we're starting to see the effects come in of the Terrace and some other little, you know, momentum, we're losing the momentum that was there because
Mhm.
it's been stained by some of the element that's going downtown right now. And I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about, there's a lot of bad actors because some of the bars are complaining about other bar owners doing
Yeah, yeah.
certain things and that's tainting the audience, right, and the makeup.
Well, what we noticed, because we're, except for her, but she still gets her draw from us too. But what we notice is, it's right there around the center and right in here where people can actually walk, okay? And then it kind of hangs around there, and then we go over to Daphne before the night's over, but then everybody kind of comes back and ends up at Jardín. This is what we're seeing, right? That's what we're seeing, because, and On the Rocks, okay, so I'm not gonna exclude them, but it's all right here, in this little area, which, that's fine for us, okay, because it's walkable, and it's hot, and it's still walkable. We do drive to Daphne and then come back, because we don't wanna leave them out, and they have great stuff going on, so even though that's a little further away, that's still fine. But that's the whole thing. If you're gonna expand, that's great, expand, but with what? what's going to be brought in to make an art walk? Because we're talking about an art walk. Caminarte is an art walk.
Right.
So they were having art at La Posada too. That was another venue that, I don't know if they're still doing that, but anyway. So,
I would
yeah.
say, look, if the vendors want, or even the artists want to set up a temporary outdoor exhibit,
We did
let's
that.
frickin'
We
do
had
it.
we had this Bazar de San Agustin. We set up on the weekend during the day out all of in the plaza, and we even cut off the street so we could serve alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
And it was all enclosed. We had music in the little atrium there, and there were people. They had to be local vendors. It was great. It lasted a few years, and actually people came out. We even had people from Nuevo Laredo, as long as they were original vendors and artists. And I have the T-shirts to prove it. It was a great idea, because that plaza is great. I know that everybody is picking up and leaving off the hill, but you know, it still worked. It still worked. So
Yeah.
that's another idea we could bring back.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm open to it. I think this more than anything is just an effort to try to just
And just maybe
bring
sit
folks
down and-
back.
Sit down and come up with ideas, right?
Because I
Well, we have a couple food trucks
Yeah.
already signed up,
That'd
so
be
the
great.
food trucks will be there.
That'll be a big deal.
Well, our idea is, so it'll be sort of this cross, right? So you have San Agustin, 300 and 400, which are the yellow, iron rod gates,
Right,
right?
right.
So we'll use that for the food trucks right in there, set up little tables and chairs. And then all up and down the street, you've got the vendors, and then at the end, you've got a stage. right.
Okay,
Yeah,
little
but
music festival.
really, it's not even, just, let's close the streets,
Yeah,
let
just
people
do
set
something.
up, dude,
But
let's
what are
just,
you calling it?
we're just calling it,
Caminarte?
we're just calling it First Fridays.
But if we have a
Yeah.
caminarte, could I suggest that you put a name in there that works with caminarte, so you're part of the
I'm open
group
to
that
it.
that we've been doing, because
we already
First
have
Friday is-
Caminarte.
I was
Right.
gonna say, I feel like it should just be Caminarte.
Yeah,
or you could do.
I mean, Caminarte is just First Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
That's what it
it's
is.
kind of like synonymous, but maybe you can just, I'm not telling you what to do or how
I
to
mean,
do it, but
I
since we
don't-
built a
I think it's like
reputation-
you're adding on to Caminarte.
Right,
That's exactly what
Okay, which
that
is
was
great.
the intention, to
Okay.
add to
So then it
what
should
was
just
already
be Caminarte. Caminarte, and then we all
You're
have
participating.
our little ads in there, it's
I was
like,
gonna see,
I do
give a
think it's a
flyer.
good idea. Like, I think it's a good idea to have music, to have vendors.
yeah,
Because that's why people go out.
Right.
And if
Yeah.
it's hot, it is hot, I
Yes.
know. But I also feel like Iturbide just has a different crowd.
yeah.
So this is where that's like my only thing, but it also is like, that's a vein, I feel like that, it does connect.
Yeah, because if you leave Casa Ortiz and go to La Posada, and then you walk down that little
Yeah.
closed off street, right?
Right.
So you're already there. So then maybe you'll buy food and hear a little music and then keep going. And
Right.
then, you're still
Yeah,
there.
And
so
that's
it's in
that's
the
the thing.
middle.
I don't want to deal with with your typical the typical fencing and then
Yeah,
No,
just
no, we
Yeah.
agree.
free flow,
Right.
open to the public.
I think we
You
all agree
walk
on that.
through, great.
Yeah.
You don't walk through, you want to walk around, great. But it's just free flowing.
But you
of
understand
things going on.
that, you understand what we're saying?
Yeah.
Then this is just Caminarte expanded. It's not, Caminarte is First Friday, so it should be Caminarte.
Or they could do downtown bar or whatever organization it is presents, caminarte, live music and vendors, and we put you on
Yeah.
our map through the cultural
Yeah.
district as a place to visit. And then
Let's
we
do
can
it.
promote your flyer on
Right,
our,
right.
because we have, like at the center, when we have an opening reception and on a caminarte, we can get anywhere from, 200 to 300 people that come through our doors. And I will say that I agree, that's a great idea, because I know that food is scarce.
Yeah.
I mean, we do our stuff at our
Right.
events, cheese and crackers,
Right.
but there's families that go, so having food vendors is a great idea. I think having a variety of different kind of
Right.
beverages, because we offer free, you know, adult beverages, it's an art walk. But adding this element, I just think is really a great,
Oh, yeah.
great benefit to what we're
Right.
doing. And I think you'll have a lot of success with it too.
Yeah, and I
If we
think
just
people
don't
could-
confuse people. with
Yeah,
it,
that's fine, we
you
can
know?
call it Caminata, we're not, we really didn't think out, like, what we were
Yeah.
gonna brand it as or anything, more than anything was like, can we get this done, in the next couple of weeks, and then
Yeah,
we.
no, this is great.
And just so you know, the other thing that we've also started is second Saturdays, just like they do on Saturdays. So we have coming out their first Fridays and second Saturdays. Second Saturday's been very slow, but over at the center, I know we're doing like live action drawing every second Saturday.
Kind
now,
of
so
like
we're building-
daytime stuff.
Right, it's a little bit more like daytime
Yeah.
stuff. So maybe in the
Right.
fall, you know, if you guys, if it works for you guys, you know, you could do something like that in the fall, because the more we have.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, if this was to kind of gain some more steam, I'd love to see it happen every single weekend, right? Like where
Right.
That would
it's
be
a regular
amazing.
thing and people already know, like, hey, like this is an actual, like, and it becomes an attraction
Mhm.
that the city can then turn around and sell to everyone, whoever. Like, it's just something that continues to grow, right? Like on a regular basis. So
Well,
yeah,
hopefully,
for
yeah.
sure. That's fine.
Well,
I mean,
you need
if
to
we're
put a
okay,
food
I don't know, or we're okay to use the title or
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
up.
Hey,
Or promote it as
I
coming
live
out
here.
and you can
I
say.
know, I'm like
you
a
know,
bandit.
just
Oh,
mark it as
hey,
another
I'm
venue on it,
here.
but no,
I'm
I
me
think
and the
they would just-
homeless.
That's gonna get a
It's 'cause
crowd
they're
that's
all
already
congregating.
supporting, and then you're gonna get some new people too, obviously, you know, doing that.
No,
But
we
Let
had,
me ask you all,
had that.
did any of you attend the flamenco?
Do you
I
draw,
did it
like,
because
the
I had
logos
former,
and stuff, or
but
what do you-
Bianca used to dance with that group.
Well, let me
For
tell
what?
you
Like
what their
Caminata?
plans are, and
No,
I
we
just,
usually do
you know,
this.
thinking
Yeah,
about,
Christy Denko brought them.
oh my God, I have never.
He has
That he hospitals were incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, the people there was like,
Yeah,
you know, and right after that, they were here for about a week or a couple of days, because
and
they
then
did
they
training.
did the tablao.
And then they had the tablao, and it was unbelievable. But what she was sharing, that this was an undertaking that took them 2 years in the planning to find the funding. They had a foundation, what is it called, the Prairie Foundation or
Right.
somebody that
Prairie
is,
Foundation.
they're gonna make this an annual thing, and they're already inviting people from
That's
all over.
great.
That is gonna be a huge.
Yeah,
thing.
Bianca took the class, but she was busy
Yeah.
with her stuff.
Well, it was, I mean, I.
No, yeah,
My
that's
jaw
why
dropped
when
because-
Bianca was at school in New Mexico, she danced with us.
Ay, they're fabulous.
That's the Instituto de Flamenco.
Exactamente, and they're so different. What they do is just very different from
Yeah.
what we're used to.
Yeah, it's like a huge group.
And the choreography is very different. It's kind of modern, it's got all kinds of things. And I was thinking, because they're planning, I mean, I just listened.
Yeah,
to
I
them.
think
We're
it's
still on
already-
at the meeting and I know there's
Right.
several
Right.
conversations.
Well, they were discussing here that
Sorry.
maybe the month that they bring them in, because they're gonna bring international people, they're gonna bring, and they're getting different foundations to help them fund it. And if it's something that we can tie in to the plans and say on this particular month, this particular,
Yeah.
and I think they wanna continue having it this time, because that's the time that they're free from their classes in New Mexico.
Yeah,
And so, I mean, that's something to
yeah,
consider.
it's a really good group.
Yeah.
Sorry
Okay.
guys, I think we.
Anything
drove off.
else?
A little bit.
Okay,
So one other thing,
Mile one, were you
oh,
gonna say? Yeah.
well, one more thing about September 6th before I forget. So our Artist in Residence program, it's taking place at Frontera Beer Garden right now. And they're gonna have open studios on September 6th. That's coming out of it, but it's on the other side. Over there on San Bernardo. But I just wanted to say that before I forget. We have 4 artists working in the studios and they're doing really great. It's really exciting. So they're gonna have an open studio night. And then, I guess I'll say this, next Thursday, I was invited to be a part of this event at Mile One called Women in Art. So I think you were invited too. What happened? They told me, yeah, that
Nobody
they had
called me.
reached out to you.
no, nobody called me.
Yeah.
Tell them
Because
to call me.
it's about Oh my god, I have such a hard
You're
time
a
saying
woman
this
and you've
word.
been in art for so long.
Entrepreneur.
I
was like, cause I'm not, I was
Okay.
like, I'm not.
I spoke a long time ago about just women in business, but nobody has reached
Right.
out to me.
That's what they told me that
Well,
they
they
were
need to tell, they need to see
call.
what phone number they're calling, cause
Right.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, because I was surprised that you weren't on the flyer. I was like, what happened to
what
Gail?
no say.
Anyway, it's next Thursday.
If they need me, tell them they should call me immediately.
Okay, yeah.
And then they
I
can write
think
in
it's
my
from
name.
11 a.m. to 1.
flyer.
I
11
don't
a.m.
even
to
know.
1?
Yeah, 11 to 1, I think.
Okay.
It's free, but I think it does require an RSVP. And yeah, we're gonna talk about art and money.
I would love to be
business.
included. I would love to be included.
Yeah, I'll tell them. Because they did tell me they contacted you.
No? Who
Wrong
contacted?
Gail.
Saida, the person that, because she's the one who reached out to me. Her name is Saida Lopez. And Cesar Hernandez is the program
That so does not
director.
sound familiar to me. Did she text me?
I don't know. They called me. They left me a voicemail.
Maybe she called and left me a voicemail that I didn't see, but tell her to call me.
Yeah,
I'd be more than happy to be on it.
I will. But that's it.
It's on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Anything else that we need to discuss? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. This meeting is adjourned.
All right, boy.
Yeah.